I guess first thing first, how's your summer been? Because you weren't involved in a major tournament,
Yep.
but I know you were kind of fangirling a little bit along the way.
Yeah, of course I was. I enjoyed my summer. I enjoyed being away for the start of the Euros, to be honest. I know there was a lot of hype going on around it, and as great as it is, it's actually hard to watch. Being Scottish, I think we all wanted to be a part of it. We all knew that we were disappointed not to get there, so really enjoyed my summer. Went away on lots and lots of holidays, so much needed, but ready to be back and get back to it.
Yeah, I saw you were jet setting away, so what was the best of all the holidays that you went on?
Good question. I think, to be honest, watching Rangers play in Seville has to be up there. Oh, me and Sam went to the Grand Prix as well in Barcelona, so that was pretty incredible as well. So there was quite a few that were some major sporting events that I've been to this summer, so I can honestly say I lived my best life, but football is my best life as well, so ready to get back to it. It's a big season.
And of the Euros games that you did go to, even though it was obviously frustrating not being there with Scotland, did you still get a nice sense of the atmosphere and the occasion and the impact it might have on your career as well going forward?
Oh yeah, of course. I would love to be playing in front of that crowd. The atmosphere was amazing. There was so many people there, so many people cheering on for their country, and that's what we as Scottish people can aspire to see and be. We want to be part of that. The crowds were amazing, and it really does give that sense of how much the women's game has grown even in recent years.
And Scotland have a World Cup qualifier playoff on the horizon as well. So has the Euros and the success of that given you a bit of even more hunger to make sure that you guys get to the World Cup next summer?
I think, to be honest, I'm more fueled by the failure of not being there, because I never want to experience watching again. Watching for the stands is not what I want to be doing. So I think how amazing the occasion was, and the failure of us not being there and part of that occasion is probably fueling me more, and I think everyone else as well. It's a group consensus that we all think it was an amazing spectacle, but why on earth were Scotland not there? So we were really disappointed, and we're definitely going to be using that going into the playoffs.
And for yourself, I mean, last season was another really successful season for you, and you've pretty much nearly won it all now with Chelsea. What are the big targets for you this forthcoming season?
I think first and foremost, trophies with the club. We need to keep winning domestically. We need to keep being dominant. We obviously lost. Sorry, fly on my head there. We obviously lost the Continental Cup this season, so that was very disappointing for us, because as a team like Chelsea, we want to be competing on all fronts. We want to be winning every title, albeit the competition is getting stronger and stronger every year. We need to be at the top of our game, but I think, of course, in Europe as well, we were really disappointed with the way we went out in Europe. It's not how it should have been, but it just shows you that if you're not on form, there is teams up and coming in Europe who can really challenge you. So I think our targets will be set on Europe this year for sure, but that won't mean that we'll be taking our eye off the ball domestically. And individually, for me, I would say getting consistency in a position. I think the latter half of the season I was stuck in midfield, and I really enjoyed it. It's the position that I joined Chelsea as 5.5 or 6 years ago, and it's a position that I'm finally just starting to train there and starting to play there. So second half of the season I kind of got thrown in, having not had a lot of training there. Been watching people, and I've been learning my trade from watching people, but I haven't been in the position. So finally having a pre-season under my belt of doing that, and I hope to stay in midfield.
There were some amazing moments for Chelsea last season, FA Cup, WSL, but like you mentioned, the Continental Cup, some frustrating moments as well, and in the Champions League. What has shown you in this pre-season, with the club being here for most of the summer as well, how different do you think this coming season is going to be for your club?
You know what, even in training, I just think it's went up another level. I've been here for a long time at the club. I've seen what it's like every single pre-season. I think this is the most fiercely competitive, the most strength and depth that we've ever had at the club. So I think the competition is fueling us all, and Emma's making a target of making training harder than games. She's making it so competitive so that when it comes to the game it's easy. Of course, no game's ever easy, but the aim is to make it as hard as possible in training so that the games become easier.
I know you've been doing a lot of promotion for the game at Stanford Bridge on the 11th of September, and you were part of the team when they played after the World Cup in 2019 at Stanford Bridge. Does it feel like it's going to be different this time playing there?
Good question. The last time I was actually coming back from an injury, so as much as you feel part of it, you're not truly part of it. I think I came on for like 20 minutes, but honestly my ankle was still hanging off at the time. So hope to be fit this time. But I think, of course, like with England winning the Euros, of course the publicity that they've generated has been astronomical compared with previous years, so it's really amazing what they've done. And you can, even when we've went to the Chelsea games in recent weeks, the men's games, we've seen people asking for photos, talking about us. There's just more exposure than there's ever been. There's more people talking about women's football, and I think that can only be a good thing for the game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask actually, because I was wondering how much has changed over this summer in terms of getting like stopped in the street and asked for autographs or pictures or whatever, because I imagine obviously when you're playing at Kings Meadow, that will happen quite a lot, but just like doing your weekly shop, has that changed much?
I'm only a wee Scottish girl living in London, so
just a Scottish girl in the big city.
Yeah, just a Scottish girl, and 9 million people. No, but seriously, I would say even it's went up for me, like, and I'm small fish compared to a lot of the girls in the team, so even if it's went up for me, it's went up a huge amount for others. I went for dinner with Millie and Sam, and everyone was stopping Millie for a photo and saying, "Oh, can we buy you your dinner? Like, we're so sorry for bothering you." I said to Sam, how does it feel being the second most famous person at the group? Because she's always getting the photos normally. And she said, well, how do you feel about being the third? I said, "Oh, get away from me." So she had a great comeback against me. So for sure it's went up, but I think that comes with the territory. We need to accept that, and we also need to be more conscious of our behaviours as well.
Well, it's a good opportunity for you guys to get some free drinks as well, probably, hopefully.
I'll never turn down free drinks.
Well, I imagine when you go to Rangers games, is it similar for you? Are you kind of a bit of
Rangers, I think there's no alcohol at Scottish football.
Scottish games, yeah. Yep. But when you went to Seville, were you allowed to drink there?
No, I don't think.
Or maybe because UEFA,
UEFA, not. Yeah. But beforehand, yes, of course.
Yeah, in the pub before.
Of course, of course. It's different when you go back to Scotland, being a Scottish person. I'm sure it's the same for the English girls here.
And I saw on Instagram you got a new car from Arnold Clark. And Arnold Clark has become a bit of a kind of cult classic in women's football circles because of the Arnold Clark Cup. Millie Bright got her golden boot there as well. So was that a specific choice to get your car from there, or was it just coincidence?
No, it was just coincidence, and I think the way it's kind of worked out that they are really sort of driving the women's game forward. It was a no-brainer to become an ambassador of them as well, and I think I kind of was in a position where I didn't really have a car and I needed to kind of sort something quickly, and they were unbelievably good with the way that they dealt with me and sorted me out for a car very, very promptly. But of course they're doing some great things as well.
Yeah, Arnold Clark, who knew they're going to be the official cheerleaders for women's football from now
I know. They better get the pom-poms out in the cars as well.
I mean, how shocked were you when you saw Millie winning the golden boot at that tournament? Was that a surprise?
I couldn't believe it. When I saw the picture with Alexia, that was just brilliant. Her and Alexia together sharing the golden boot, having one hand on it each, literally. It's crazy. But you know what? Millie's always got a boomer in her. Like, we see it in training. For every one that goes astray, there's one that goes in the top bin, so it's worth it for her.